Hello, my lovely students. How are you? I hope you all are doing fine. So, here I am, your Anchal ma'am. We are going to revise the chapter Morphology of Flowering Plants today. So, if you have any doubt in this chapter, the all doubts will be clear in this lecture. So, without any delay, let's start with our lecture. And also, at the end of the lecture, we are going to solve some questions, right? So in morphology, basically, we are going to understand the structure of root, the structure of stem, and the structure of leaf, right? So how they look, and also the structure of flower. So because flower has a organ, root, stem, leaf, flower, in inflorescence, fruit, seed. So we are going to discuss that those things in this lecture. So first is about root, beta. As you know, root is what? Root is a underground part, underground non-green part. It is a underground non-green part, and the root is basically positively geotropic, which means it grow towards gravity. It grow towards gravity. Root basically has three parts, three region. We have discussed that in the lecture. This is root tip. Root tip is protected by a multicellular structure known as root cap, right? Now this region where root tip is present is known as region of meristematic activity, right? In this region, the cell divide and help the root to grow in length. Then beta comes the region of elongation. Here, cell are not dividing, cell are elongating, increasing in size, and ultimately they are also helping in increasing the length of the root. The last is maturation region, and here you can see some hair-like structure. All of you know what is this hair-like structure, right? This hair-like structure is root hair, and remember it is a unicellular structure, right? And this region from where root hair basically originate, this is known as region of maturation. This is known as region of maturation. Here cells are not dividing, they have become permanent, they have become mature. Now they are not dividing, only root hair are forming from the outermost layer of the plant, which is epidermis. So this root hair are developing from the outermost layer of the root. So these are the three region of the, right? So now I'm going to tell you the types of root. Beta, there are three types of root that we are going to study. Types of root: taproot, fibrous root, and adventitious root. Taproot, fibrous root, and adventitious root. So as all of you know that embryo has two parts, right? Embryo has two parts, radicle and plumule. We have covered this topic. Plumule give rise to shoot, and radicle give rise to root. So whatever root is directly forming from the radicle is known as taproot system. So direct elongation of radicle forms primary root. So when radicle grow, it grow into primary root. So this is beta primary root. And from primary root, you can see that lateral roots are arising. These are known as secondary root or lateral roots. From these secondary root, beta, tertiary root arises. Right? So this is primary root, this is secondary root, and this is tertiary root. Beta, together they are also known as lateral roots because they are arising from the side of the root. Right? Together they are known as lateral roots. And this primary and lateral roots together known as tap root system. So what is a tap root system? The primary root plus lateral roots are known as tap root system, are known as tap root system, right? So this tap root system is only is seen in dicot plants. So dicot plants have tap root system, right? Now talking about fibrous root, beta, what happens in monocots? The primary root, the one with orange, is short-lived. It will die very soon. Primary root is short-lived. It will die very soon. So it will be replaced by the plant need root. So when the primary root die, it will be replaced by fibrous root from the base of stem. From the base of stem. So some fiber-like root arise from the base of stem. So this is the stem. And some fibrous root arise from the base of stem. These are known as fibrous root. These are known as fibrous root. Right? This you can see in monocots. Because here tap root system is not there. The primary root will die very soon. Now adventitious root. The adventitious term means away from the source. So here root develops from the part of the plant other than the radicle. Right, so here root is arising from the part of the plant other than the radicle. For example, banyan. So have you seen that hanging roots from banyan? Known as prop root. Coming out from the branch. So in banyan root, the root that you see hanging from the branch is known as prop root. It is for the support because the plant is very heavy. The branches are very heavy, right? Second example is fibrous root. Because fibrous root are also developing from the stem, it is not developing from the radicle. So the whole fibrous root is nothing but a type of adventitious root. What do you mean by adventitious? When a root arises from not from the radicle but other part of the plant, it is known as adventitious root. So we can count fibrous root under adventitious root. So these are the three types of root: tap root, fibrous root, and adventitious root, right? Next is functions of root. What are the function of root, beta? The function of root is to anchor the plant, to attach the plant to the soil, right? Absorption of water, absorption of water and mineral. Yes, they absorb water and mineral from the soil. Storage of food. Storage of root, yes, their cells store food. And synthesis of plant growth hormones. So some of the plant growth hormones, they are synthesized in the root. Some of the plant growth hormone are synthesized in the cells of root. So these are the function of root, right? Next, we are going to start with stem. Next, we are going to start with stem. As you know, stem is green when young and dark brown when old. Right, so when the stem is young, it is green and it is dark brown when it is old, and stem is positively phototropic because it grow towards the sunlight. It is positively phototropic, and stem has node and internode. Node is the part from branch or leaf arises. So stem has node, node, and the part between two node is internode. Right, so this is, there are two parts in stem, node and internode, and from node branches, leaf arises. Stem also has bud. What is bud? Bud is an immature shoot that will develop into branch or shoot or flower. So bud is nothing but an immature shoot, right? On getting the opportunity, this bud can sprout and give rise to a new structure. So there are two type of bud you can see in stem. The bud at the tip of the stem and the bud between leaf and stem. That bud which is present at the tip is known as apical or terminal bud, and the bud which is present between leaf and stem is known as axillary bud. It is known as axillary bud. So these bud can sprout and give rise to new structures. There are two types of bud, apical and axillary. Now I'm going to explain you some modification of axillary bud, some modifications of axillary bud. There are two modification of axillary bud, beta. First, axillary bud can give rise to tendrils. These are tendrils and they are here to support the weak stem. The stem is weak, so to support the weak stem, the tendrils are there. The tendrils are here, right? Example, where do you see tendril from the stem? Grapevine, right? Watermelon, gourds. So in these plants, you can see tendrils, and other modification is when the axillary bud become pointed. These are known as thorns. These are known as thorns, and thorns are for protection from browsing. Thorns are for the protection. Where do you find these thorns? Citrus plant and bougainvillea. Citrus plant and bougainvillea, you will find these pointed structures known as thorns. So these are the two modification of axillary bud, right? Next, we are going to start with the leaf, right? So I'm going to explain you the structure of leaf. This is leaf tip or apex. This structure is leaf lamina, also known as epipodium. Epi means above and podium means stage. Epi means above and podium means stage. This is petiole, stalk of leaf. Also known as mesopodium. Meso means middle, podium means stage. This is the leaf base, also known as hypopodium. Hypo means below, podium means stage. And these leafy structures that you find at the base of leaf, right? So yes, there are some small leafy structure present at the base of leaf. They are known as stipules. They are known as stipules, and this is stem. This is stem, right? So here, this is what we call as a structure of leaf. This is midrib, and you will find veins and veinlet, right? So this is what we call a structure of leaf. Let's discuss that how the types of leaf. There are two types of leaf, simple and compound. There are two types of leaves, simple and compound. Simple leaves are like this. Either the leaf lamina is completed or leaf lamina is like this. These type of leaf are known as simple leaf. Example, mango. The mango tree has simple leaf. Whereas in compound leaf, beta, what happens is the leaf lamina is divided into small leaflets. The whole leaf lamina is divided into small parts known as leaflet. There are two type of compound leaf, pinnately and palmately. Pinnately means, beta, this is the stem, right? And this is the leaf, and these are leaflets. So this is the whole leaf. These are leaflets, right? And this you can find in neem plant. And the curry plant, the curry leaf that you use in different food like poha, South Indian food like dosa, idli. Idli nahi, like it's in sambar, right? You add it in sambar during tadka. So yes, neem, curry. Then palmately compound leaf. Beta, this is stem, and these are leaflets. It's look like a palm. That's why palmately compound leaf. So these are leaflets, and this is whole leaf. This is stem. This is stem. Right? Palmately compound leaf you can see in silk cotton. You can see in silk cotton. So these are the two types of leaf. I hope this is clear to all of you. Simple and compound. Now I'm going to tell you types of venation in leaf. Venation means how the veins or midrib is arranged. First is reticulate, in which the venation is net-like, right? Example, the dicot plant leaf. In dicot plant leaf, the veins are net-like, and parallel venation in which all the veins are parallel to each other. Example, monocot plant leaf. Right, so there are two type of arrangement of veins and veinlet, reticulate and parallel venation. Reticulate and parallel venation. Right, reticulate you can see in dicot and parallel you can see in monocot. I hope this is clear to all of you. Right, so next is the types of phyllotaxy. Types of phyllotaxy. Phyllotaxy means arrangement of leaf on stem. Arrangement of leaf on stem. There are three types: alternate, opposite, and whorled. And whorled. Beta, alternate, where you can find one leaf at each node. Right? Example, CMS, China rose, mustard, sunflower, CMS. So in these plants you can see alternate phyllotaxy. Opposite means when you can see two leaves at each node. Two leaves at each node. GC, guava and calotropis. Guava and calotropis. World phyllotaxy, where you see lots of leaf at each node. Where do you see lots of leaf at each node? Example, Nerium elstonia. How do you remember it? Not applicable. Nerium elstonia, not applicable. NA. Nerium elstonia having world phyllotaxy in which there are many leaves at each node. There are many leaves at each node. So these are the types of phyllotaxy: alternate, opposite, and whorled. So this is about leaf. Now we are going to start with what is inflorescence. Beta, inflorescence is an arrangement of flower on floral axis. Floral axis is known as peduncle. Peduncle is a part of stem on which flowers are born. So there are two type of inflorescence, cymose and racemose. In cymose, you can see that the old flower is at the tip and the young flower is at the base. Such type of arrangement is known as basipetal arrangement. Such type of arrangement is known as basipetal. Remember it with base. The young flower is at base, basipetal. Here you can see the young flower at the tip and the old flower at the base. The young flower at the tip, which means it is acropetal arrangement. Acropetal arrangement, right? So as you can see here, in this the old flower is at the tip, which means the growth is limited in this because the old flower is at the tip. But here the young flower is at the tip. That's why the plant can grow and produce lots of flower at the tip. So growth is unlimited. It does not mean that it will grow and grow. It will grow until it survives, right? Or until it's in its reproductive phase, right? So here growth is limited, there growth is unlimited. Example of racemose is reddish or mustard or reddish. An example of cymose is potato, solanum. So these are the two types of arrangement of inflorescence. Next, we are going to start with flower beta, right? Flower. Flower, as you all know, is a modified shoot, which means the stem was supposed to form the leaves, but instead of leaf, now they are producing the whorls of flower. I'm quickly going to make a LS longitudinal section of a flower. This is the stalk of flower known as pedicel. This is the swollen part of pedicel known as receptacle or thalamus, right? And above it, the 4 layers of flower are born. This is known as sepal, and the layer of sepal is known as wall of sepal is known as calyx. It is the outermost layer. It is the outermost layer. Then you see the beautiful petals. Then you see beautiful petals, right? And the wall of petal is known as corolla. Is known as corolla. Then you see the male part, stamen. This is anther. This is filament. Together it is known as stamen. And the layer of stamen or whorl of stamen is known as androecium. Beta, andro word is related to male and gyno word is related to female. And the last part is female part. The last part is female part. It is stigma where pollens are landed. This is style where pollen tube will go and release male gamete into ovary, inside the ovary, inside ovule. This is ovary. Together, these 3 structures are known as carpel. And the wall of carpel is known as gynoecium or also known as pistil. Right? So this is the 4th layer. So there are 4 layer in flower: calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. So why do we call flower as a modified shoot? Because instead of producing leaf at each node, now they are producing their whorls at each node: calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. So this is the LS of flower, which means longitudinal section of a flower. Longitudinal section of a flower. Next, flower. The types of flower on the basis of position of ovary or gynoecium. Types of flower on the basis of position of ovary or gynoecium. Here, beta, you can see every whorl is coming out below the ovary. Here, ovary is at the highest position. Ovary is superior. Ovary is at the highest position. Example, this type of flower is known as hypogynous flower. This type of flower is known as hypogynous flower. Example, MCD. You will learn it by MCD. Mustard, chili, datura. Mustard, chili, datura. You can remember it by MCD. In this, you can see that ovary is at the middle. So we can say ovary is half inferior. Everything is developing from the middle of the ovary. Such type of flower is known as perigynous flower. Example, PPR, plum, peach, rose. PPR, plum, peach, rose. Here you can see that ovary is poor, ovary is inferior. All the whorls are growing above the ovary. Such flower is known as epigynous flower. Example, guava, cucumber, sunflower. Beta, ovary of flower of these plants are inferior and the flower is epigynous. So there are three types of flower: hypogynous, perigynous and epigynous. I hope this is clear to all of you. Next, we'll start with this. This is what we call as an estivation. Estivation is nothing but the arrangement of sepals or petals. Right? Estivation is basically the arrangement of sepal and petal. Here you can see this is the velvet estivation. Here petal and sepals are not overlapping each other. They are not overlapping each other. They are present like this. They are not overlapping each other. This is known as twisted estivation, where you can see the sepal or petal, their one end is overlapped. Their one end is overlapped. Their one end is overlapped. This is imbricate. Beta, imbricate is like a twisted estivation, but here overlapping is not occurring in uniform pattern. So in imbricate, overlapping not occurring in a uniform pattern. It is very random. Whereas you can see in twisted that the overlapping is occurring in a very definite pattern, but in imbricate it is random. And the last is vexillary, which is very important. Here you can see there is one standard petal. These are two free wings. They are not attached to each other. These are two fused keels. Right? So these are the different type of estivation. These are the different type of estivation. I hope everyone clear. So example of vexillary estivation is pea, bean. Example of imbricate is gulmohar, acacia. Example of twisted is China rose, cotton, ladyfinger. Their flower are having twisted estivation, and velvet example is calotropis. So the flower of calotropis are having velvet estivation. So these type are the different type of estivation that you can see in a flower. Right? I hope this is clear to all of you. So next we are going to talk about androecium. Androecium beta is a whorl of stamen. Right? Let's talk about stamen. Stamen is a male part. Beta, stamen can be free from each other. That condition is known as polyandrous. Stamen can be attached to petals, known as epipetalous condition. Example, potato family, Solanaceae family. Right? Stamen can be attached to tepals. What are tepals? Beta, in plants like lily, their flower don't have sepals or petals. Their flower have instead a layer of tepals known as perianth. Layer of tepals is known as perianth. It is seen in lily. So whenever next time you see the flower of lily, please understand those petals like structures are not petals, they are tepals. This condition is known as epiteplous condition. Example, Liliaceae family. Example, Liliaceae family. Stamens can be fused to each other. Stamens can be fused to each other. They can form one bundle by fusing each other. They can form one bundle. They can form two bundles. Or they can form many bundles. When they are fused to each other, they can fuse to form one bundle, two bundle, and many bundle. One bundle, this is known as monoadelphous that you see in China rose. So next time you observe China rose, you can see all the stamens are fused to each other in one bundle. Two bundles, diadelphous. Example, pea, beans. In their flower, you will see diadelphous condition. Many bundles, it is polyadelphous. Beta, it is polyadelphous. Example, citrus. The flower of citrus are having many bundles. So in this way, stamens can be arranged. In this way, stamens can be arranged. So this is about the male part of the flower. Let's understand the female part, beta. Gynoecium. Gynoecium is basically the whorl of carpel. Now, beta, in a flower, carpel can be one in number. Carpel can be many in number. When carpel one in number, it is known as monocarpellary. Example, Fabaceae family. What included in Fabaceae family? All the pulses, groundnut, soya bean, right? Pea, bean, all are included in Fabaceae family. Many in number is multicarpellary, also known as polycarpellary. If there are many carpels, there are chances that they are fused to each other or they are free. Fused carpels and free carpels. When carpels are fused together, it is known as syncarpous condition. When they are free from each other, it is known as apocarpous condition. When they are free from each other, it is known as apocarpous condition. Example of syncarpous is tomato, China rose, brinjal, etc. Example where carpels are free from each other: lotus, rose, strawberry. So in this flower, all the carpels are free from each other, right? So these are the two conditions of carpel: monocarpellary and multicarpellary. Multicarpellary has two conditions: syncarpous and apocarpous. Next is placentation, beta. That is related to this gynoecium only. Placentation means arrangement of ovules inside ovary. Arrangement of ovule inside ovary. Right? So there are 5 type of placentation: exile, parietal, free central, marginal, and basal. Right? Exile placentation you can see in tomato. So whenever you cut tomato next time, the round tomato, you can observe the exile placentation: lemon, china rose. The parietal you can see in mustard, argemon. The free central you can see in primrose, dianthus. The marginal you can see in pea. The basal you can see in sunflower, marigold. So these are the 5 type of arrangement of ovule inside the ovary known as placentation. So this is about the female part. This is about the female part. Right? Next is fruit beta. What is a fruit? We all know fruit is basically developed from fertilized ovary. So fertilized ovary develops into fruit. The ovary wall become fruit wall. Fruit wall is known as pericarp. Pericarp has 3 layers: epicarp, mesocarp, and endocarp. So the wall of fruit has 3 layers. If these 3 layers are distinguishable, if these 3 layers are distinguishable, the fruit is known as fleshy fruit. If you can see these 3 layers separately, the fruit is known as fleshy fruit. Example, drupe. One of the example of drupe is, 2 examples are mango and coconut. So mango and coconut are the example of drupe, and drupe is an example of fleshy fruit. If these layers are not distinguishable, we cannot see these separate layers. If these 3 layers are not distinguishable, the fruit is known as dry fruit. The fruit is known as dry fruit. Example, maize, wheat. So the fruit of maize and wheat is a dry fruit. We cannot see these 3 layers, epicarp, mesocarp, and endocarp, in those fruit. Right? Now, another types of fruit beta are true fruit, in which only ovary is involved. It is formed from the ovary only. Example, mango, coconut. Second, false fruit, the fruit which develops from ovary and other parts as well. Other parts of flower. Such fruit is known as false fruit. Example, cashew nut, strawberry, apple, pear. So all these fruits are false fruit. Third is parthenocarpic fruit, which develop from unfertilized ovary. So when ovary is unfertilized and it develops into fruit, such fruit is known as parthenocarpy. Example, banana. So banana develop from unfertilized ovary. Banana develop from unfertilized ovary. It is a seedless fruit. Parthenocarpic fruit is seedless fruit. So these are the three types of fruit: true fruit, false fruit, and parthenocarpic fruit. So I'm going to show you two fruits here: mango and coconut. Both are drupe, right? Here the mesocarp is edible part. This is the part that you eat. And in coconut, mesocarp is that thread like structure you see is mesocarp in coconut. It is not edible, right? And these are the edible part of coconut, and the edible part of coconut is known as endosperm. It is a part of seed. It is a part of seed. So the coconut water that you drink and the white part that you eat from the coconut, both are endosperm. Both are endosperm, which means you utilize the seed part of the coconut. You utilize the seed part of the coconut. Next is bitter seed. As you know, ovule after fertilization, ovule after fertilization develops into seed. The layer of ovule are known as integuments. After fertilization, it becomes seed coat. Integuments are the layer that protects the ovule. Seed coat has two layers: testa, outer, and tegmen, inner. Right? And there are two types of seed. There are two types of seed, beta. First is endospermic, albuminous, and second is non-endospermic and X-albuminous. So endospermic seeds are those in which endosperm is present even in the mature seed. Example, coconut. In the coconut, we eat the endosperm part, so obviously endosperm is present. Maize, castor, right, etc. Non-endospermic seed means the endosperm was present, but now it has been utilized and it is not present in the mature seed. Example, pea, the seed of pea, bean, orchid, right? So these are the non-endospermic seed. These are the non-endospermic, right? So this is about the seed. Now we are going towards the last part of the chapter here, floral formula. And in syllabus only Solanaceae family is there. Solanaceae family. Example of Solanaceae family is potato, brinjal, tomato, chili, tobacco. Tobacco is known as Nicotiana. Petunia, datura, all belongs to Solanaceae family. Their formula is okay. This is basically Brassicaceae family. So I think Solanaceae family in the next. I did not see this was Brassicaceae family. So we will write Brassicaceae family here. This is the formula of Brassicaceae family. Example of Brassicaceae family is, all of you know, mustard, right? The formula is this. This means flower is actinomorphic, which means flower can be cut into two equal half from any plane. This means bisexual condition is there, both male and female part is present. This means calyx and two sepals outer. Two sepals inner. This means corolla. 4 means there are 4 petals. This means androecium, stamens. 2 stamens are shorter. 4 stamens are longer. This means gynoecium. And there's a dash below gynoecium, which means ovary is superior. Right? And 2 means 2 carpels are there, and bracket means carpels are fused. Bracket means carpels are fused together. So here you can see, beta, these are sepals, these are petals, these are stamens, and this is carpel. This is Brassicaceae family. This is Brassicaceae family. The last families in your syllabus is Solanaceae family. Solanaceae family example is, I'll write it again, potato, brinjal, chili, petunia, datura, tomato, nicotiana, which means tobacco, right? Its formula is actinomorphic, bisexual, K5, which means 5 fused sepals are there. When sepals are fused, it is known as gamosepalous condition. When the sepals are fused together, gamosepalous condition. Then corolla 5, which means 5 fused petals. When petals are fused, it is known as gamopetalous condition. Right? Then A is androecium, and androecium there are 5 stamens, and stamens are attached to the petals. This arc represents that they are attached to each other. Gynoecium, 2 carpels are there, ovary is superior. 2 carpels which are fused together, and because dash is below the G, which means ovary is superior. So this is the formula of Solanaceae family. These are sepals, these are petals, this is stamen, and this is carpel. Right? I hope this is clear to all of you, the formula of Solanaceae family. So here now we'll start solving some question. The first question is ray floret. Ray floret, beta, is a part of sunflower. And sunflower has inferior ovary. Inferior ovary means perigynous flower. When the ovary is inferior, the flower is known as perigynous. The flower is known as, epigynous. The flower is epigynous. Next, the root that originates from the base of stem are known as fibrous root, because primary root is short-lived. These fibrous roots are found in monocots. These fibrous roots are found in monocots. The ovary is half inferior in plum. When the ovary is half inferior, the flower is known as perigynous. The flower is known as perigynous. Next, floral formula of Liliaceae family is this, where P represent perianth. Where stamens are attached to the perianth, there are 3 and 3 tepals, and there are 3 plus 3 stamens, which means 3 tepals are outside, 3 tepals are inside, 3 stamens are attached to outer tepal, 3 stamens are attached to inner tepal. There are 3 carpels, and carpels are fused together, and ovary is superior. Ovary is superior. BR means bracteate flower. What does it mean? Bracts are present. What are bracts, beta? Bracts are the small leafy structure present at the base of flower. Small leafy structure present at the base of flower. If those bracts are present, the flower is known as bracteate flower. I hope everything is clear to you guys. You enjoyed this lecture. We revised everything in chapter. So if you still have any doubt, you can ask me in the your regular lecture. I will happy to solve your queries. So I'll see you in the next lecture. Till then, take care everyone.